Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to talk or discuss about planning a lesson. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Devi Wanda Safitri. My name 31801800011 and my class is B1. Stay tuned and I will discuss now. Before we discuss about planning a lesson or lesson plan, we have to know about what is a lesson plan. In this section video, I will explain you what is a lesson plan. So, lesson plan is the instructor's roadmap of what students need to learn and how it will be done effectively during the class time. When you want to a successful lesson plan for addresses and interpret, there are three components you have to know about successful lesson plan. The first, learning objectives. Second, learning activities. And third, assessment to check for students' understanding. A lesson plan provides you with a general outline of your teaching goals, learning objectives, and means to accomplish them, and if by no means it shows it. And when you wanna make a lesson plan, there are 6 formats in a lesson plan. I will tell you. 1. Goals. 2. Objectives. 3. Materials and equipment. 4. Procedure. 5. Evaluation. And 6. Extra classwork. I will explain one by one this format in a lesson plan. The first format is a goals. This should be able to identify an overall purpose or goal that you will attempt to accomplish by the end of the class period. Goals may be quite generalized, but it serves as an eyeing them for. And 2. Objective. There are statements how objective is very important when you want to teach or make a lesson plan. A. Be sure that you indeed know what it is you want to accomplish. B. Preserve the unity of your lesson. C. Predetermine whether or not you are trying to accomplish too much. And D. Evaluate students' success at the end of after the lesson. The objectives in the lesson plan at the end of the chapter are the short statements that you can turn back to after a lesson and determine to some extent anyway how well students accomplish the objective. There are kind of objectives in the lesson plan. The first, terminal lesson objective, are final learning outcomes that you will need to measure and evaluate, and in this objective, what students do. So, students will successfully request information about airplanes arrival and departure. And 2. Enabling objectives are interim steps that put up each other and lead to terminal objective. What should the student do in the objective? Student will comprehend and produce the following 10 new vocabulary items. Student will read and understand an airline schedule. Student will produce questions with when, where, and what time. And then students will produce appropriate polite form of requesting. And 3. Materials and equipment. It might seem a trivial matter to list material needed, but good planning includes knowing what you need to take with you or to arrange to have in the classroom. Material in a lesson plan include a tape recorder, a poster, a handbook, and workbook. And procedure is an established method of accomplish a task, usually with steps that are performed in a prescribed order. In the procedure, there are two procedures. A. An opening statement or activity as a warm-up. B. A set of activities and techniques in which you have considered appropriate proportion of time for, include whole class work, small group and pair work, lecture talk, and student talk. And fifth, evaluation. Evaluation is a process that critically examines a program. It involves collecting and analyzing information about a lesson's activity. Evaluation is an assessment, formal and informal, after students have sufficient opportunity for learning. Why evaluation is very important for students? Because evaluation can assessing the success of your students and making adjustment in your lesson plan the next day. And the last 6, extra classwork. Extra classwork means homework. Therefore, students don't necessarily to study in the classroom, but they can study at home. And quick lines for lesson plan. I will explain you one by one about quick lines for lesson plan. Okay, the first, how to begin planning. If you a new teacher and doesn't much experience, when you want to teach, you have to choosing what to teach. No job and already been given a textbook and taught to teach from it. And in the begin planning, you have to A. Introduction to activities, B. Direction for a text, C. Statements or rules or generalization, D. Anticipated interchange that could easily, and A. Oral testing technique, and D. F. In conclusion to activities and the class. And in the quick lines for lesson plan 2, there are variety, sequencing, parsing, and theming. As you're driving step-by-step procedure, you need to look at how the lesson holds together as a whole. There are 4 considerations include these quick lines. 1. Is there sufficient variety in the technique to keep the lesson lively and interesting? And 2. Are your techniques or activity sequenced logically? And 3. Is the lesson a whole adequately? And 4. Is the lesson appropriately timed, considering the number of minutes into the class hour? And 3. quick line is coping difficulty. Figuring out in advance how easy or difficult certain technique will be is usually learned by experience. The main problem here lies in the heterogeneity of a classroom full of learners whose efficiency range is very broad. Individual attention, feedback, and small group work can sometimes bring challenge into the classroom. And for individual differences, there are several steps to account for individual differences. 1. Design techniques that have easy and difficult aspects for all items. 2. Solicit response to easier items from students who are below the norm and the harder items from those above the norm. 3. Try to design techniques that will influence all students actively. And 4. Use judicious selection to assign members of small groups. And 5. Use small group and pair work time to circulate and give extra attention. And 5. There are student talk and teacher talk. Give careful consideration in your lesson plan to the balance between student talk and teacher talk. As you plan your lesson and as you perhaps script out some aspect of it. And 6. There is adapting to an established curriculum. 2 factors that contribute to curriculum planning. The first, learners factor. Who are the students? Include age, education, occupation, general purpose in taking English. And what are their specific language needs? And 2, institutional factors. What are the practical constraints of the institutional you are teaching? Include budget, equipment, classroom space, and size. What supporting materials are available? Include textbook, audiovisual aid, overhead projector. And the last, there is classroom lesson or not. By reducing your plans to such a physically manageable minimum, you will reduce the change or getting bogged down in all the details that went into the planning phase. Yet you will have enough in writing to provide order and clarity as project. And this is a discuss about this video. We talk about identify what lesson plan, and then we talk about format and lesson plan, and then we talk about quick line for a lesson plan. And I think enough for this video, and I hope you can to be a good teacher for your student. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.